السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. يسعد مساكم جميعا. I would like to welcome all of you to the second workshop in the Writing Center. The workshop is going to be about introductions, hooks, and thesis statement, how to write these three parts of the essay. So I would like also to announce that the Writing Center has launched its new YouTube channel. So the channel will have every workshops, all the recordings, and inshallah, soon or in future, we will have short videos about academic writing in general, specific aspects of academic writing. We will upload these videos to the website, to the YouTube channel. Inshallah, we'll share the YouTube channel, the link for the YouTube channel with you shortly. And Mr. Ibrahim, thank you, and the floor is yours.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Basim, for this introduction. Good evening, everybody. Thank you very much for joining this presentation, and I hope you find it beneficial and enjoyable. Let's start. This presentation or this workshop, as suggested by the title, it will be about introductions. It's about writing in general, but focusing on the introductions, hooks, and thesis statement. So these are the keywords of the presentation of today. We will be focusing on these important words. So our focus will be on these areas. Before I start, let me introduce myself. My name is Ibrahim Madani. I joined ELI in 2010, and I have been in the field for more than 20 years now. I worked as a teacher supervisor and critical thinking and IELTS trainer, and also now I joined the Writing Center as a writing specialist. Okay, so let's start our presentation. You know, it's about writing, and let's start with the first question. Our main focus will be on writing as a process, not as a product. So just let you know this. Later, I'm going to ask you some questions, and I need to know your background and your ideas about the difference between process versus product. We will discuss this in a minute. But let's start with an icebreaker. Here, I will stop the chat for the time being, and we'll go back to the chat later. Our icebreaker here: why is assessment of writing important, and why should we take it seriously? For example, in our case as teachers, or as writers, or authors, or researchers. So writing is really very important skill. We know it's part of language learning, one of the 4 skills, and that. But here, when you look at the assessment, because this is our concern, we are teachers, and we know this, and we do it with in our classes, in our exams. But why is it important? Why should we take it seriously? Yeah. Now I will give you the chance to share your ideas. If you want to say something, I can see. Why should we take writing assessments as learners so seriously? Okay, yeah, I can see very good ideas here. Yeah. To ensure the quality of the outcomes, yeah, that's a good idea, very good. And also to check thinking. Okay. Yeah, very good ideas to communicate very well with others. Yeah, because most of the exams, most of the assessments are in written forms. So you use writing to write essays and even to answer grammar questions or to write vocabulary questions. So writing is everywhere in our learning. So we do a lot of learning, a lot of writing more than speaking, especially in exams. if we go back to our normal teaching, we use exam papers, so a lot of writing. Okay, good. And also I will share this idea here, ideas with you. You can see here, yeah. To make something, when you write, you make something new and original and creative. Of course, when you write, you make something new, creative, and also, yeah, and also you bring new information, because in writing normally we go and do some brainstorming, collect information, use our experience, and use our sometimes you refer to books or internet to get information. So it is about bringing new information to the readers, and we use our own language in writing, of course, and our own organization. So that's something general. In addition to what you mentioned in the chat, writing assessment is really important. Okay, let's move on to the next step. I said product versus process. Our focus is on the process. We are not going to wait until the student finish and then we look at his final product. We are not going to do this. We normally start with the process, the steps and the stages he follows in order to reach the final product. So our main focus is on the stages of the writing process. You need to focus on this. Think about the stages of writing, okay? Okay, if I ask a question here, please, it's a general, simple question. If I ask about these writing stages of the process writing, how many stages do you think are there? In order to think, 5, okay. Bender, okay, 4, okay. Okay, great, 8, yeah. I'm still waiting for the number, waiting for that figure, yeah, to come. Yeah, we got 4, 5, 3, 8. Okay, thank you for participation. All right, we have about, yeah, 7 stages, okay? 7 stages of the writing process. We are not going to discuss all the 7 stages. We will only focus on the first 5. Because the last 2 stages will be done in a different presentation or in a different workshop. So our focus here only on what we do before we start writing and what we do while writing, drafting, or making the first draft. This is what we will do in this presentation, okay? We have 7 stages, and I want you to work out and think and find out what I mean, or you find these stages, okay? The first one, the first stage of writing, you may write a well-developed essay, but you didn't meet the topic requirements. So your content is considered off topic. You understand what I mean here? Sometimes you write a very good piece of writing, excellent grammar, good ideas, but it's all considered off topic and you will get a 0 at the end. So there is something here very important regarding the first stage of writing, the first step you make in order to arrive at the end of the day with a organized and comprehensive piece of writing. Okay, here, what to do in order to, yeah, what to do in order to understand the points. You see, you read the instructions or the prompts carefully, and then you focus on the keywords. We are going practically, we're going to do this practically, not only speaking about it, but we are going to do it. So who can tell me which stage of writing are we discussing right now? Which stage? Mm-hmm. Outline, planning. Yeah, planning is part of it. Yeah. Pre-writing, what we are all, everything we discuss now is pre-writing. Brainstorming, understanding. Yes, okay, that's the word. It's understanding the topic. Yeah, you got it right, guys. Thank you. It's about understanding the topic. Yeah, I will show you exactly what I mean by that. Understanding the topic is very important uh, for writing. You know, sometimes in order to understand the topic, there are words or phrases or guides that guide you to the required content or required organization. Like, for example, if you see the words compare, when you look at the word compare, yeah, you see that it's about comparing, or the word define, or give examples. So you have to include whatever is given in the prompt, and you have to understand it carefully. Otherwise, your writing or your attempt will be off topic, and then you will get a zero in that, because one of the reasons for giving a zero, if the content or if the attempt is completely off topic. All right, so let's move quickly from this. Here I will show you the stage here. It is uh, understanding the topic. I will write it at the top. Understanding the topic is very important. We have another example. Yeah, which is exploring the topic. Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry, sometimes, you know, I may pronounce your names incorrectly, so forgive me for this if it happens, okay? Because the Arabic script is different from English. Sometimes we try to find the equivalent for dha and gha. Yeah, we make combinations or clusters. Anyway, I will try to pronounce them correctly, inshallah. All right, so understanding the topic is the key word here for starting writing. We have an example here. Please look at this example of a question. This is taken from a real assessment. I want you to read it in a minute, and then we look together at what you understand from this. My question will be about the keywords that guide you to the required content. Okay, what to write and what is it about? Okay, take a minute, just 1 minute to read it. All right, let's look together at the keywords. What do you understand? Could you just mention some of the keywords in this question? Mm-hmm. Things you did. Let's start with the first line. Write a short essay about one of the following topics. Which keywords are you going to underline or highlight in this? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Places, things, holidays, one, short. Yeah, okay, yeah, good. Yeah, the word one is one of the key words in the first line. Yeah, you see, yeah, that's very important. They ask you to write about one because you are given two. If you write on the two, then that might be considered as off topic because you didn't understand, right? So here, write an essay about one of the following topics. The first topic, where did you spend your last summer holiday? Talk about the places you visit and the things you did. So this is very important. Try to take some time to look at the question, read the prompts carefully. So the most important word for me here is the word one, right? About one of the following topics. And in the second, let's look at number one. Which keywords here are there? Which keywords are you going to underline? Where did you spend your last summer holidays? Talk about the places you visited and the things you did. I saw some people say, okay, I have to choose one of them. Yes. Yeah, it's about where. Yes. Tell us the place. Where is very important. Mhm. And last summer holidays. I'm not talking about next next year or next holiday. No, this is about all in the past, about last summer holiday. This is the key word here. And also talk about the places you visit and of course the things you did. This is the content of your writing. Should be about a place and the time is last summer holiday, and you have to include places you visited and the things you did. That's it. Yeah, if you choose to do number one, then that's enough for you. Focus on number one and write about last summer holiday and talk about the places. Okay, yeah. I think it is clear now, okay? Any question about this? Okay, if you choose the second one, the second option, right? If you choose the second option, working for yourself is better than working for someone else. Do you agree? Support your opinion with an example or with examples. Note, your essay must be 3 paragraphs long with a minimum of 150 words. If you choose the second option, so I want to see in your answers, yeah, working for yourself, yeah, okay. And also, yeah, right, agree, disagree, opinion, and example, examples, compare, yeah, that's a good word. It's about opinion, right? And also comparing, all right, and working with the company. Pros and cons, oh, I like that, Bender, yes. The pros and cons of, or the positives and negatives of working alone, running your own business or working for someone else. Yeah, great. Okay, that's great. Now we move on and see, yeah, I agree with what you mentioned. And you see here is working for yourself versus working for someone else. This is, you have to compare. Do you agree or not? So it's about agree or disagree. Then you have to include examples. Yeah. And in the note, also, we need to look at the note and see, yeah, here, there is a word limit here. You have to, at least the minimum of 150. That means your attempt should be at least 150 words. It's not acceptable to write less than that. You can write more, of course, but not less than 150 words. All right. I think this is the first stage, and I think is the most important one, because if you got it wrong, if you get it wrong for any reason, then the whole thing is will be considered off topic, and you will not get any mark in this. So you need to take it really very carefully. All right. Let's move to the second stage. And this stage, we are going to move a little bit, we are going to move quicker in this stage because there is nothing to say, nothing much to say. In the case of classwork or exams, you think of the people who are going to read your writing. The people who are going to read your writings. Maybe your peers, maybe your class teacher, and informal, like in exams, the graders, the people who are going to mark your papers and give you grades or give you marks, and the reviewers. So here, this stage is talking about what? Can anyone tell me which stage is that. And of course, thinking about these people is very important. Why are they important? Of course, I think of my peers or my graders or the class teacher or whoever is going to read my writing. It's very important to think of him. And here, because they assess you according to a rubric or according to points, according to number of assignments, whatever, and give you marks, of course, accordingly. They will give you marks as you fulfill this. So evaluator, is it? Yes, yeah. Okay, okay. Audience, okay, I like that. So it's correct, yeah. I have to think of the audience. Here, thinking of the audience are the readers, the people who are going to read my writing. And here I have to think of the first stage. Think about the requirements, the instructions, because the grader is going to grade your attempt or your writing according to those points and give you marks. So you have to think it's something serious. You get grades or not. It's serious, that's why you have to think of your audience. And if you are, for example, a writer for a newspaper or author or whatever, then your readers are very important when you write to your readers. Otherwise, they will not continue reading your articles or your writing. So you have to be very careful and think about your audience. And I think here we think about the graders, the teachers. Okay. Okay, that's stage is over. We move on to the next stage. And in this stage, we do a lot of things to collect information. We do brainstorming, and there are so many forms, so many techniques for brainstorming. You can brainstorm as individual or as individuals or as groups, right? And discussions and the journalistic questions, you know, the WH, sometimes they call them the W, what, where, when, why. These are called journalist questions because the journalists usually use these questions when they ask to find out information. And visual mapping, we use this technique in order to collect information. You know, visual mapping, you can Google this word and see, Google image, you will see what I mean by the visual mapping or brain mapping sometimes, or idea mapping. Yeah, sometimes people call it idea mapping. Free writing. Yeah, it's clear. You take a pen and then you start writing without thinking of grammar or spelling or anything. Just put whatever comes to mind relating to the topic. This is called free writing. And sometimes you can use listing, make a list. Okay, what do we call this stage of writing? Let's look at the chat and see what you find. What is that stage? Planning, drafting. No, it's still, yeah, it's too early for drafting. Yeah. Yeah, collecting the information. Yeah, okay, that's great. Yeah, collecting information, resources, main ideas, gathering information. You mean? Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, planning and idea development. Okay, preparing. Okay, thank you very much, guys. This is I will show you the stage now, as suggested by this point, is generating ideas or collecting ideas. This is very important. After I looked at the title, I understand the title, it's very clear to me. Then I think of the grader and how is he going to look at my writing. He's going to consider grammar, ideas, organizations, a lot of things. Then I come to the most important point, which is collecting ideas. I use brainstorming, drafting, not drafting actually, brainstorming, discussing. Okay, all right, thank you. I like your ideas. Thank you very much. Okay, let's move on to the next stage. And by the word these here, I deleted the word. and the word is plural and singular sometime. These are very helpful guidelines after generating ideas. I generate ideas, I put the ideas, all the ideas, but I cannot take the ideas as they are and put them in the writing. You cannot do this. There is a stage here in the middle. You have to move the information, all right? You have to filter them to see which is relevant, which is not relevant, what to include, what to exclude, what to delete. So this is very important, this stage. These are guidelines. They are not final product, you know. Whatever I get from the generating idea is not the final product. So I need to change, as I said, delete this, add this. While doing this, might be we develop new ideas while you are doing this stage. You can develop new ideas. Yeah. And also, sometimes in order to do this, we can use headings, use subheadings to decide the relation, which comes first, which must be discussed first, which next. And then we can use numbering also, use numbers, number 1, number 2, or capital or letters, indentations, leaving space in the beginning to show their order of importance, start with more general, sometimes with more general to more specific. So what do we call this very important stage of writing? Yeah, structure, layout, yeah, we're going to see. Yeah, thank you. Categorizing, using bullets, coherence, bring information, unity. Okay, okay, thank you. Topic building, yeah, excellent. Yeah, I think outline, yeah, Amani, yeah, you got it right. Outlining, this is outlining. This stage is called outlining. And I think it's the step next to generating ideas. When I generate idea, I don't look at spelling. I never look at grammar. I never look at anything. I just put whatever comes to my mind down in the paper. It can be in a form and drawing or using graphics, using points, using clusters, whatever you use. But it's still, it's not the good, it's not final product. You need to move it to another step, and this is outlining. As I said, outlining is very important step in which you organize, you put them in order, logical order, what comes first, what is important, what is not important. So yeah, it's very important. And of course, planning, we are doing this planning. Yeah, it is planning, this pre-writing, it's all planning, it's all about planning, yes. Okay, so this is the summary of what we discussed. There are 7 stages, of course. We discussed understanding the topic and thinking about the audience of the readers, generating ideas. So yeah, we generate ideas, and then outlining or organizing our ideas, then drafting. We'll stop at this part, which is drafting. Of course, it's about essay writing. We are not going to discuss the whole thing, or not going to discuss essay writing as a whole, but our focus, as suggested by the title, only the introduction. We'll focus on writing the introduction. Pre-writing stages, then introduction. Okay? Drafting the introduction. Okay? Later, we have workshops about revising after you draft the introduction or the body paragraphs or the concluding paragraphs. You will follow different, of course, different strategies when you write about the body paragraphs. There are differences, of course, and revising and editing. These are the 2 separate. There are workshops. There is a workshop on this. It's listed there in the list of the workshops of the the list of workshops. Okay, right. So these are the stages, what we think about before we start structuring, yeah. Okay, good. Next, drafting, we said we start with drafting the introduction. Okay, we have a question here. Introduction is the most important paragraph. I have a simple question. Why? Why is it the most important paragraph? Structuring thesis statement, yeah, right? Okay, give you insights, introduce the topic, first impression. Oh yeah, good. Because it gives you overview, yeah, general ideas. Everyone will go with the introduction. Oh yeah, mashallah. Thank you very much. Okay, that's great. So general statement, yeah, it should be attractive and make the person continue reading, right? Guides the reader. Okay, thank you very much. These are very nice ideas. So the introduction, let me take you to this, is the most important paragraph. It introduces the main idea of the essay and the directions. You know, remember this word, please, because I'm going to come back to this word, the directions the essay will take. Sometimes there are certain directions you need to follow in your writing. And it consists of 4 parts. There are 4 parts or components, the things that must be included in the introduction. So could you just write the 4? If you suggest the 4, you don't need to write one. Put the 4 parts and send them together. Yeah, I will be waiting for you. Yeah, take your time. My question, in other words, what are the parts or the things that must be included in the introduction paragraph? The hooks, the hook, general statement, thesis statement, and conclusion. Okay, hook, background, yeah, very good, mashallah, very good ideas. So it seems that you have very good experience in this. Yeah. Background, scope, objectives, conclusion, yeah, identification, specific idea, thesis statement, hook. Okay, thank you very much. Yeah, I think you mentioned all the 4 parts of the paragraph introduction. And yeah, the opening sentence or sentences, you can use 1 sentence or 2. And opening sentence is very important sentence, and it has been given name as the hook, general uh, background information. You need to start your topic with this. We are going to look at these 4 parts in some details. Yeah, opening sentences. Look, opening, how you start your topic, and the topic sentence, of course. And then the thesis. This is the keyword, the thesis, your thesis. And finally, an outline. Again, I will take you to the red word here, direction. So how are you going to guide me in this writing? You are going to discuss what? Give me a summary of what you will do. So this outline is optional. I think you do not need to include it if you don't want. You cannot add this outline, or the most important things, the general background information, the opening sentence, and have to state the topic, because the general information is general. So it's still general. You have to make it specific. And then you talk about the topic. Then you move from the topic. I know the topic. Let's take a very simple example. If I say, yeah, this is very simple. Smoking can kill you. Yeah, I start the opening sentence like this as a hook, and it's not strong enough. I mean to attract the reader. Smoking can kill you in 5 minutes. In order to make it very stronger, so I have to make it very catchy to attract the reader. Then smoking is very dangerous. Many people die, or you can put a figure, for example, million people die every day. Yeah, I'm just giving example. I'm not sure if this is a fact or not. I'm just using it as an example, okay? So that is general idea. Then the topic, smoking is dangerous. That's the topic. Okay, I know that's the topic. What are you going to tell us about it? So we know that many people die of smoking, and the topic, your main focus is the danger of smoking. Then, so what? You caught my attention. Now, so what? What do you want to do with it? Your position here, your ideas. Okay, Ferris, you need to prepare your sentences very carefully without giving out any details. Only later. Yeah, exactly. I agree with that. Yeah. Lawal. Am I right? I don't, Laya. Okay, Layal. I don't know. Sorry if I mispronounce it. First, you need to prepare your sentences. Yeah, I like these ideas carefully without giving out. Yeah, in the introduction, you are not talking about details, of course. You are introducing, just introducing, not discussing. Okay. If you include examples, that will be fine. Yeah, of course. Or smoking is like to expose. Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much. Let's look at these four parts in some detail. Okay, the opening sentence, and it's called a hook or a grabber. Why is it called or given that name? Yeah. Can you share your ideas, guys? Share your ideas. Why is it given that name? Why is it called a hook or hook? Yeah, COVID-19. Okay, that's very interesting to talk about COVID-19 these days. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. You know the word. The literal word meaning of this word is something that we use for fishing, right? Or for what I say. It's especially used in loading and downloading or uploading things or stuff. It's something. But I'm not talking about the literal meaning. I'm talking about catching or attracting the attention. Yeah, exactly. Yes, to attract the reader. Yeah, and this is very important because if you do not attract the reader, he will leave you. He will not continue reading. You have to catch his attention. He will continue reading it if even if it is long. So I think it's very important uh, to include a very interesting. We are going to look at some examples here. Yeah, let's look at it. It's a hook or a grabber. You have to think of including it. It should be very interesting and catchy. It catch the reader. A surprising fact. It can be a surprising fact. Just like, as I said, a million people die of smoking every day. This is not, it's not a fact, but I'm just giving you an example. So when you look at this big figure every day, wow, how? Then you continue reading. A surprising fact or a quote, you can get a quote from somewhere or statistic figure, as I said. And what is the purpose of of the hook? Because it gives background information and it serves to capture the reader's attention. That's the point. So what we mean by hook here is the sentence that you open your writing with or paragraph with, and you include general information, but that information is put in a way that attracts the reader, okay? We have an example here. Just read the first two lines. Read the first two lines. Okay, yeah. So those who spend 2 hours a day using social media, all right, they spent 5 years and 4 months of their lifetime on social media. Look at this. If I put it as something to attract the reader, I think it's very interesting. I want to know how the calculation is correct or not. You spend, oh, that's a very long time, 5 years of life, of your life, and 4 months. Yeah, it is very interesting. So you can think of very interesting hooks for your, okay. 5 years, okay. It blows me away. Okay, if I want to ask you about to write a topic about the danger of this virus, okay, the coronavirus. Um, if the topic is the dangers of this, or how, uh, or why this COVID-19 is considered very fatal and very dangerous disease. The COVID-19, not coronavirus, is not a disease. The virus and the disease is COVID-19. Okay, so here, if I ask you, and I want you to give me an example of a general information and put it in a way that attracts the reader. Can you try this now? I will give you 2 minutes. I want a sentence or sentences, please. I will give you the topic or the title. The danger. If you want to say the dangers, no problem. The danger or the dangers of COVID-19, yeah. COVID-19 is not one of the serious, okay, pandemic diseases, people, okay, right? Okay, that's, okay, yeah. Highly spread and, yeah, oh, the sentences are moving very quickly. Yeah. You know, my point again, guys, to just to remind you, you can put a quotation or you can put a figure or you can put an opinion and make it really interesting. That's the point. The most important. Okay. Could you put some figures? You can include, for example, the total death cases in the world. Okay, okay. Thank you very much. These are very good attempts. Millions. Okay. Okay. I can give you an example on this, but it's just an example. If I say COVID-19 will continue for the coming 10 years, it will not finish in the coming 10 years. This is very sadistic. This is not very optimistic, pessimistic opinion. Sorry. I'm just giving you an example. If I put it like that, or 2 millions of people are going to die of this. I hope this is not going to happen, inshallah. I hope, I pray, inshallah, this not happen, will not happen. Don't be, don't, don't be scared there from things you can see. You should. Okay, thank you very much, guys. I think it's clear here that we have very good examples, mashallah. Your participation is great. Thank you. And I'm happy that you understand what I mean by the word hook. Yeah, it's very important. It gives general background information, and it must be very attractive, and it should be very catchy so that the reader will stay with you and read it. But in our case, as grader, we are going to write, we're going to read it, whatever it is. But if you are writing, for example, for newspapers or writing for the public, you need to be very careful to attract your readers, because you create very good impression about your writing. Yeah. Okay, we move on to the next part, uh, which is the topic sentence. So I move from general to specific. I put figures and I talk about the dangers of smoking or COVID-19, whatever. Then I move from that general topic to a very specific topic, which is the dangers uh, of I choose maybe, for example, the people for people who have some chronic disease or IS. In this case, it can be really dangerous for old people or people who suffer from other illnesses. Okay, so here the topic sentence moves you from general background to specific. The sentence, or sometimes sentences, to introduce the topic and make it really very specific. And it is the controlling idea of the essay. If I say the dangers here, that means your writing must focus on the dangers only. You don't have to talk about anything else. So this is a controlling idea of the whole writing. Yeah, topic sentence. And oh yeah, so that is the most important part, the thesis. Okay, could you share your ideas about the thesis statement? What is thesis statement? This is the third part of the paragraph, introduction. Yes. Summarizes what your essay is about. Yes. Okay. Yeah, I agree. It summarizes, yeah. It gives the main idea. That means a summary of the whole thing. And sometimes you point of view, of course, what your research is about. Okay, the goal of the article. Yeah, I agree with that. Your opinion and other opinions. Yeah, mainly what this thesis are. Solve arguments and discussions, introductions to the article. Yeah, I'm just reading the messages. Uh, yeah, maybe the body of the introduction. Okay, great ideas. Thank you very much for sharing this with me. And I just want to take you to what I mean exactly by the thesis. If we start again from the beginning and say, if I say that we start with general background information, which is the hook, we put it in a way that is attractive and very catchy to the reader. Then we move from general to specific. I put the topic. So what? After you put the information and you state the topic, now it comes that, yeah, what comes next is the thesis. Your thesis here is your position in the writing. What are you going to say? What are you going to do with it? What is your opinion of this? Do you agree, disagree? Oh, yeah. I have some points here. Let's discuss them together. Yeah, let's start with the first point. The thesis defines the topic and it specifies the scope Okay, specifies the scope of the writing. And what else? It shows your argument. This is the key word. Yes, it shows your argument, what you want to say with this. So we know that smoking is dangerous. Many people die because of this. Okay, what do you think of it? We know it is dangerous. Yeah. And we know that you are going to talk about this danger. But what are you going to say? What do you think of this? So your opinion and your argument and why you want us to read it. So this is what we refer to as the thesis statement. You have to state your thesis of choosing or writing of this topic. Is it clear? We are going to see some examples later. Yeah, I give you an example. Okay, okay. Thank you very much. All right. Thank you. Okay. All right. Thank you, everybody. Okay, now I will give you an example here. It's not a perfect example. You can make it even much better than this, but you can make it more attractive. But this is just to outline or to show you the parts, the 4 parts of the introduction, in order to make the introduction very strong, and it gives the good impression of your writing, and make the reader continue reading until the end. So nowadays, many people choose to live in a city to get high standards of living. So I left the blanks or the spaces for you to suggest the parts, all right, to get standards of living. Therefore, lots of people have moved to live in major cities. Although there are lots of benefits of living in city, there are still some problems as well. In this essay, I will discuss some of the advantages and disadvantages of living in a city and give my opinion. Okay, let's look at the parts. I want to see your suggestions. Which one should go in the first place? Yes, the hook, general background information. If I ask you, it's about living in a city, all right? You can make it even more interesting. You can add a figure, or you can add a piece of information or something. Opening sentence, yeah. The opening, it's a hook, yeah, using the technical word. Cities are overpopulated, yes, I agree. Yeah, you're right. So which word? Yeah, it's the hook or the opening. And what about the next one? Next space? Maybe clarifying what are the high standards. Supporting sentences, yes. But supporting sentences, we usually look at the supporting sentences in the body paragraphs. And sometimes you can use them in the introduction sometimes to make the points clear. You can give an example, but you are not going to explain, you know. In the introduction, you don't need to write examples, a lot of examples or explanations or definitions in this paragraph. It's about introducing the topic only, right? And you guide the reader, what things are you going to include? Yeah, topic sentence. Okay, yeah, topic sentence. Yeah, you specify, move from general to specific. Yeah, and then next, although there are lots of benefits in the city, there are still some problems as well. What is this? Which part of the introduction is this? Yeah, the brown words are what? Are the thesis statement? Yeah, my opinion, supporting. Yeah, this is the thesis. So here, I think in this black line here, you write your thesis. It's about, although there are lots of benefits of living in a city, there are still some problems as well. So you were talking about problems or benefits or advantages and disadvantages. Yeah, maybe comparing or writing about your preference. So this is your thesis, okay? And the last part, what is the last part? Yeah. Yes, that's the outline. Yes, I agree with you. That's the outline or the guide or the directions. Which directions are you going to do or to include in your writing? So in this essay, I will discuss some of the advantages and disadvantages because you have already stated this in your thesis. I know what you are going to talk about in your from your thesis. But this outlining is just like directions. How are you going to develop your writing? I will discuss some of the advantages and disadvantages of living, and I will give my opinion at the end. Okay, great, good. Yeah, that's right. Thank you very much for your. Let's go back quickly. We see in writing introductions, the four parts are the hook, then topic sentence, then the thesis, and finally the outline. If I take you back to the four parts. Yeah, these are the four parts here. Yeah, these are the four parts which we covered. And I will give you some time to write an introduction. Okay, maybe we can discuss how or the ways in which you are going to develop a very good introduction for that topic. And of course, if you develop a very good introduction, that means inshallah you will make a very good essay. Body paragraphs will follow in the same way, and the concluding paragraph as well. So these are the four things that I covered. So inshallah, I will give you the time to ask questions when we finish. And we are moving towards the end of the presentation. So I will take you. Yeah, we finished this. This is statement. Okay, we have the practical part of this, and I want you uh, first to follow the stages. We don't have time to go through brainstorming and outlining and that stuff. We are not going to go through the pre-writing stuff. I want you to go directly to what you include. You can tell me. You don't need to write it. Actually, if you write it, you can send it to me. I will share my email with you. I will write it in the chat box. So if you want to send it to me, write it and send it to me. I want you to write a perfect introduction, include the things that we discussed today, the four parts of the introduction. Oh, let's look at the topic. Write an introduction to the following topic. Different ways of how, it's about different ways of how technology helps university students. Different ways of how you can change the title a little bit. There are different ways of how technology, you can put there are. okay, how technology helps university students. If I start with the first thing here, what are the keywords? In which way are you going? Which words are you going to focus on? What is it exactly about? Is it about technology in general, or is it about the differences of using technology? What are you going to focus on here? You can write, yeah, technology and students. Yeah, you're right. The different ways, yeah, ways. You list ways, you discuss ways, of course, and how students can benefit from technology. Yeah, I agree. Differences, e-learning, yeah. Technology has played a key role. Yeah, okay, you have already started. Okay, that's great. Ways of technologies. Technology helps. Technology help students. Online class in campus. All right, very good. I think here your focus will be on this when you write your different ways. I'm not talking about one way. Maybe you include many examples. Technology helps students at university in different ways. So here you focus different ways, give more examples, and it's about technology and it's about university students. Yeah, these are the keywords in which you want will focus. Now it's time to get a good introduction or opening sentences. Can you do this? I'm not going to ask you to write the full paragraph, but you can put technology makes you attend classes in minutes. Okay. Develop technology, example, opinion. Okay, give me a sentence. Can we start with the difficulties that the student have in the past as a hook? Yes, of course. But you have to be very careful when you write something like that, difficulties. Because here the main focus is about the ways that help university students. So you have to be very careful, because if you talk about the difficulties, is fine, yeah, but don't put it in a way that can be misunderstood. I mean, okay, can we start with difficulties? Yeah. Technology makes you attend classes. Okay, right, thank you. Maybe we can use, yeah, in time of COVID-19, yeah, yeah, the pandemic, okay. Can very clear in helping the student. Yeah, okay. Yeah, during this time. So it's very important to include this. Technology had, okay. So, I think you can use Google search or use the internet to find figures or get quotations or get informations to make your writing or your hook very interesting. Yeah, you can add information, of course. Many advanced technology now is everything. Okay, it becomes the backbone for education using different, okay, good ideas. Nowadays, technology has become powerful, right? There are many different ways technology for use. Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, I will ask you to move from the general background information to a very specific sentence. You can use the same title as the very specific, like for example, there are different ways of how technology helps students. So this is, you can use it as a topic sentence, but I'm just giving you an example. You can use your own example. Give me a topic sentence for this, or structuring sentence. We are thankful, grateful to technology, which has changed our way of studying. Okay, all right, okay. Pens and notebooks are gone. Okay, okay, yeah. Technology can change our life. Yeah, that's right. Okay, the last part that I want you to, okay, maybe, yeah, before the last point, please give me a good hook here. Sorry, a good thesis statement. Teachers and their students can be or can meet through smartphones or laptops. Yeah, it's much easier, faster, and you can use a lot of tools, but still a lot of things also are missing. All right, teachers, okay. Technology assists students in many ways. Yeah, you're right. Good. Okay, last thing, give me an outline, suggest an outline for this. In this essay, teaching method available now is very comfortable and can use anytime, can be used anytime, yeah, anywhere. Yeah, of course, yeah, of course. There are some pros and cons of technology. Yeah, I agree. There are pros and cons when using technology in university. Yeah. Okay, that's great. Now I want you to write the last part of the introduction, which is the outline or the directions. What are you going to include exactly in this topic? I will talk about how we maximize. Okay, that's great. Yeah. Okay. In this essay, I will talk about different ways that makes, okay, I like this. Yeah, yeah, much easier than the past. Okay. In this essay, I will discuss how technology helps students in their learning. Okay. You can also include your opinion. You can say, I'm going to look at some ways and yeah, what do you think? Whether you agree or disagree, whether you like them or you don't like them. I will shed the light on some ways. Okay. Yeah. Okay, that's great. In this essay, I will talk about how technology has helped, yeah, and continues to help. Yeah, good. All right. University students, especially during this year, yeah, during the time of COVID-19, yeah. Great. Gadgets, okay, like mobile phones and tablets, yeah, are very useful. So you can just uh, you can play and learn, or you can in this essay we can discuss how technology make a student very active. Yeah, yeah, of course there are so many tools and so many ways of engagement in the online teaching, on learning, and everything is available. So you can use the internet, you can use the video, you can include audio chats or video chat or video, or you can include a lot of things. It's just the same thing that we do in the classroom, but here the tools are very efficient. Okay, technology is sometimes challenging for students, but in my opinion, there are more advantages than its disadvantages. Yeah, okay. students. Mhm. Okay, I think that's great. Thank you, everybody, for your participation and being very active. Yeah, I enjoyed reading your messages, and there are some amazing ideas. I think you got what exactly this workshop is all about, how to structure a very good introduction, because the introduction will give the good or bad impression about your writing. So we will discuss how technology was keep going, the education movement during the COVID. Yes, I agree with that. Yes, could be, yeah, could be to improve university students. Okay, this essay will help you to know more about technology helps university students. How, yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay, thank you very much. If you want to write the whole paragraph, you can write the whole paragraph, and this is the topic. You know, you can take a picture of this, or you can write it. If you want to write a paragraph and send it to me, that's fine. I will share my email if you want to send it to me. Okay.
All right.
Thank you very much. Now it's time for question. I'm done with the. It's time for questions. Yeah.
All right.
The
Thank
microphone
you.
is yours, Dr. Basim.
Thank you. It's been very informative, inspiring workshop. I would like to thank you for this workshop. Yes, thank you so much. And it's
You're
time
welcome.
now for questions. Please, if you have any questions, you just raise your hand or write it in the chat. So Mr. Ibrahim will be happy to answer your questions or concerns or inquiries. So please, yes, raise your hand or write it in the chat here. I'm gonna share with you right now the evaluation form. Please complete the evaluation form about this workshop. So here is the evaluation form, and I'm gonna show also email all of you the link for our YouTube channel. Here is the link for our YouTube channel. Inshallah, soon we will upload all the videos, and also today's workshop video is gonna be online, inshallah, within 24 hours, bidnillah.
Right.
Okay, Ms. Aisha, I guess, has a question. Go ahead. Aisha, can you hear me?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes.
My question, can I write my opinion, my general opinion, in instruction?
Sorry, the question again. Sorry. Write your opinion where? In the introduction, you mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Introduction is just for introducing the topic. You can write your opinion in the thesis. How are you going to discuss this? Whether you agree or disagree, you like it, you don't like it. It's about you, right? When you introduce the topic, you need to say exactly what you think of it. You can include your opinion, but you don't write the details in the introduction. You can generally state your opinion. You can simply add, like, for example, I agree with this or I don't agree. So I know from the thesis your opinion. You are going to write the details in the body paragraphs. Your opinions should be explained by giving examples, by giving definitions, explanations, whatever you want to include about your opinion in the body paragraphs. Okay? All right. Is that okay? Dr. Basim, any other question?
All right, so we have a question here from Asma. I guess it's okay if we use pronoun and the hook. What do you think? Is
It's
it okay?
possibility.
Yeah. Is it okay if we use pronouns, for example, in the hook? For example, I, he, she, or it, they.
Yeah, because it's okay, you can use the pronoun, but in academic writing, they say it's better not to, it's better not to use personal pronouns to make it general. But here, you know, using the reference word in general, if it is a pronouns or anything else, you cannot start using pronouns in the beginning. But in the outline, you can say, I am going to write about this and this in the outline, in the directions. In your hook, you can use you can use the pronouns, no problem, because it's general. In the hook, you can use general. In the thesis, you can use the pronouns, no problem in that. You can use like the word I think, I guess, I understand, I believe, I agree, I don't agree in your thesis, because this is your thesis. You can put personal pronoun, no problem in that.
How about questions?
Is that a question? Sorry?
How about questions? We have another question asking about, is it okay if we use questions in the hook?
Yeah, no problem. You can put, you know, the hook is general. It's general. It has nothing to do with the content. It's just the purpose for introducing the topic generally. You can put questions, you can put figures, you can use quotations, you can use any statistics. As I said, you can put a figure, as I give examples, 100 people die every day or because of this and this. It's general. And the purpose of this hook is to attract the reader. It should be very interesting, but there is nothing specific to be included in that. It should be related to the topic, introduces the topic, and it must be, yeah, general. Thank you very much.
We have a question here from
Joseph.
Turkey. Yeah. Go ahead, Turkey.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Turkey, can you hear me? I see you raising your hand. Turkey Amar, can you hear me?
Dr. Basim, there are also questions on the chat box, the difference between an abstract and introduction. Yeah, yeah. Let's wait for Omar.
Yeah.
Omar's question, then we can answer this later.
Turkey Amar, can you hear me? And I think he has an issue with his mic. Okay, we have another question from the chat here. What is better to use when presenting the ideas, passive or active voice? I mean, in the introduction, is it better to use like passive form or active form or voice? What do you think?
It depends, because generally when you write in science, we use the passive voice in science writing. When the subject is not important. For example, we don't need to say who discovers that fact. Sometimes we say it has been found, it has been discovered, you know. Yeah, you don't need to write the subject. This is in science in general. We use passive in science more than, but there is nothing specific in this. You can use passive, why not? You can include both, passive and active, no problem. Okay. You know, when you write passive or active, you are including the same information. It's just about the voice. When the subject is important, you include it. This is active. When the subject is not important, you omit the subject, so it becomes passive. Okay, is it clear now?
Yes. How about, okay, let's go to
active. Yeah, active is easier. Yeah, easier to read active because you know, yeah, the subject or the doer of the action is there. So if you want to include it, that's fine. But if it is not important, we don't need to include it. Just like in science, all the science writing discovered, has been found, has been discovered. They don't mention the name of the discoverer or the founder, the finder. Okay. Any other question?
Okay, Bandar Al-Umari.
Yes, hi, can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah.
At
We
first,
can hear you.
I'd like to really thank you, Mr. Ibrahim, for the interesting lecture.
It's my pleasure. Thank you very much for your nice words.
My question is, you were mentioning about writing the introduction that contain maybe 4 to 5 sentences. How about
Yes.
if I would like to write a research proposal or a dissertation? How can I expand my introduction? How is the structure of the introduction then?
Okay, yeah. In writing an extended essay or writing a research paper, I think the introduction is much longer. And you have to include a lot of things. It's a little bit different when you write an essay. For example, if you want to write an introduction to your dissertation or your research, you need to include a lot of points. Like you give background information, but in this case you have to include some background, some readings, some citation. You have to include a lot of background information, and then you have to build your thesis statement to give and show how the importance of this study, why you choose to research on this. So, and you have to give reasons or justifications and to give guidelines or what to include. Give a summary of the whole paragraph, of the whole research. For example, you give quick ideas about, for example, paragraph, so chapter 1 and chapter 2, literature review and introduction, and then methodology. You include everything in the introduction. It's not like when you talk about short essay. You see?
Yeah,
So you include almost the same idea. It's the same idea. Your introduction must be very catchy, must be very interesting, okay? Because this is the first part of your research. It must be very interesting or very attractive, okay? But there are differences. That's longer, a little bit longer than this one.
thank you, Mr. Ibrahim. Another question, please.
Yeah.
How about
Go
the
ahead.
material? Will it be available for us? And your email, please.
Okay, I think Dr. Basim, if you can share my email, thank you.
Yeah, I already
Could you
did
share?
the chat. I will do it again. I'll
And
check
that's,
it again.
Yeah, could you please do that for me? Yeah, if you need the material, it's okay, no problem. Anytime, no problem.
Yeah, you can
how
contact him. You can contact Mr. Ibrahim for the material.
Okay.
He will
No
email
problem.
you. We have another question here from Turkey Omar. Well, Turkey, we will have a separate workshop. We will have separate series for graduate writing, how to start from the scratch, from the proposal, how to write your proposal, from introduction all the way to the end of your proposal. So can you hold your question until November, because November is going to be just for graduate students. Undergrad are welcome to attend November series, but the November series is going to be only for graduate students, starting from how to write essays, fundamentals of writing essays, all the way to the end. So we have another question from Mustafa. Are these rules, I mean the rules you have talked about, are these rules can be implemented for IELTS?
IELTS writing.
Yes.
Yeah, of course. You can use this for IELTS, like, because this is general for academic writing in general. And of course, IELTS is a good example of academic writing. So they ask you to follow the guidelines and the norms of writing. Yeah, you can use it. Why not?
All right. So I don't know if we
unless they ask you, I mean, unless they ask you, sometimes, you know, it depends on the instructions. If they ask you to do something else, that means you can change the content. Otherwise, this is a content for the introduction.
Okay, so we will have, I don't know, do you have questions? Or as I see you open your mic. Okay, let me mute it. So let's use active voice. Okay, we have round. What is the best method? Okay, if I want to write history and many dates as background, what is the best method to write?
I can't hear you, Dr. Basim.
Well, the question from Abrar, I guess, if I want to write history and many date as background, what is the best method to
yeah.
write?
Okay, you are talking about the chat. Okay, if I want to write
Question
history
from the
and
chat, yeah.
many date as background, what is the best method to write them? Okay, the best method is to write them in a way that is interesting. You can introduce or you can include very interesting facts. You can use dates, no problem. You can use past, present, whatever. It doesn't matter. But your writing should be related to the topic. It gives general background, and then it must be very attractive. Okay?
Okay, Abrar here is asking about the certificate. Yeah. So the policy here is if you attend 80% of each series, you will get a certificate of attendance for that series. For example, we have 4 series. If you attend 80% from series number 1, so you'll get certificate for series number 1. If you attend series number 2, you will get, if you attend 80% of series number 2, you will get certificate of attendance for series number 2. And this is how the certificate or the policy of issuing certificate of attendance. I hope it's clear, Abrar. Okay.
Oh, yeah, there is something here, Dr. Basim, if you can.
One more question.
Sorry, is it legal to use? Is it legal to use fake? Yeah, this is in the.
Yes.
Is in the chat, all right? Is it legal to use fake reports in order to make or inappropriate statistic? I think that's a very interesting point. You cannot create information. Fake information is going to turn all the things against you. You have to justify. I mean, that's what we should include. You have to use facts, and it's be very factual. Yeah, that's very important thing, because people may ask you if where you get this piece of information. Yeah. Sorry, Dr. Basim, you can continue with your question, please.
All right. So I think now it's 9:30. So since there is no more question, thank you all for attending our second workshop. Thank you, Mr. Ibrahim, for this wonderful workshop.
Oh, welcome.
And don't forget our
Thank
next
you, Dr.
week
Bas.
workshop on next Monday is going to be how to write paragraph. So thank you all. Enjoy the rest of your night, and I hope we see you, inshallah, next week. And don't forget to subscribe on our YouTube channel. Everything is going to be there, inshallah.
Okay. Thank you all. Okay.